Hi everyone, this is an exciting opportunity to be on this side of the screen as a student. So my name is Ann Simao. I have been a professor here at Bay Path for almost 10 years as an adjunct, teaching mathematics classes. I've taught on all the campuses as well as online, and this is a great opportunity to step back and think about the way that I've been engaging in the class. So how would you create weekly videos that play to your strengths as an educator? What kind of content do you plan to prioritize in these weekly videos? So I think one of my biggest strengths as an educator of math is that I can make difficult topics easy to understand. The content that I prioritize in my weekly videos are the questions that students struggle with the most historically over the years I've been teaching the classes. I find that focusing on the toughest material allows that student to gain the confidence that they need. And the students who don't get the other parts of the material tend to reach out, and I can email with them one-on-one to help them understand the material a little bit better. What is your intended strategy for engaging in weekly discussions? It's impossible to thoroughly respond to every single student post in the discussion. So what kinds of instructor engagement will you prioritize? When will you intervene? I find it difficult to fully engage in the weekly discussions because a large portion of the students don't post their initial response until late Thursday night when the assignment is due. A lot of times I wish that the students would post earlier in the week. I find that the students who post on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday have the material correct. So it makes it difficult to really help the students who are struggling because a lot of times they're the ones that are posting at midnight on Thursday night and they really don't go back in again until Saturday when they're trying to fervorously post 2 responses or 3 responses at the last minute on Saturday night. The math discussions are right or wrong, with the only gray area being when the students show their work and I can help them know where they went wrong. So the way the math discussions work are they have case studies and they have to post the responses to the case studies. And some of the students will post as pictures, which is really cool. They'll take a picture of their work. Some of them will take the time to type it into a Word document and post it over. Some of them only put their answers. And then when they put their work, it allows me to know where they're going wrong, and I can help them specifically. I focus on encouraging students who did well in the discussion and letting students know when they answered an incorrect question incorrectly, and helping students who made a small error see where that error was in their work. What are your current ideas for using technology to streamline your feedback and grading on student assignments? We all know feedback is the most time-consuming element of teaching. How do you plan to make this process more efficient for yourself? So I found the most efficient way for me to grade student assignment is to have an answer key with all the steps written out, typed, and then I use that as a template to show students in my comments as I grade where they went wrong. So it's very time consuming for every single student to type out the entire from start to end. But when I have that template, I can copy that and paste that into the comments. And the students seem to really like the feedback and seeing step by step how they should have completed that problem. Knowledge Path provides an exciting amount of data on student knowledge and competencies. How do you plan to utilize this data to inform your engagement with your students individually and the class as a whole? Knowledge Path I have not taught with yet. But it will allow me to see where the majority of the students in the class are struggling, and I can create videos to reinforce the topics that that specific group is struggling with. Because I know historically where students have struggled, but as far as knowing each individual class, we all know each class has its own personality. And sometimes one class will breeze right through a topic, whereas another class has a really hard time grasping that concept. Knowledge Path will also allow me to see exactly where I can help a student who emails me to say, I don't get any of this. And it's really hard to know where exactly they're struggling. And I really hope that Knowledge Path gives me that specific spot where I can say that's where that student is really struggling. It usually takes a few correspondence back and forth before the student realizes they're not completely lost, but they're just missing a small step in the process. And as we know, some students will instantaneously respond back to us, and it's great because you can get that back and forth a few times, and within 20 minutes, the student says, that's what it is, and they feel confident and they can move forward. Whereas other students, it might take 3 or 4 days because some students only log in and they don't check their BayPath email and they don't put it back linked to their home email, which is really tough because they'll ask a question and I'll respond, but then it's another day or two before they'll respond back to me. And you lose that specific help that you can give that student. Well, it was great talking to you guys, and I hope to work forward in this class with you.